Hello, welcome to LMU Community TV News. I'm Ashley Hurley. Thank you for joining us. An investigation into the 8th Judicial District Drug Task Force and Violent Crimes Unit was requested by District Attorney General Jared Effler. The request for the investigation is allegedly due to the shortage and disposition of evidence and money. Effler requested the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation and the Tennessee Comptroller of the Treasury to look into the procedures and protocols of the task force. Throughout the investigation, Task Force Director Melvin Bayless is placed on administrative leave with pay. Steve Carson will now serve as the interim director. The 8th Judicial District includes Claiborne, Campbell, Fentress, Scott, and Union counties. It is an investigation that goes back as far as 3 years. Calves worth thousands of dollars are being recovered and returned back to their farms in Claiborne County.
This that we have involving cattle in this county stem back to about 2013. Our research through the database that we've got going back to 2013 is really when people started stealing cattle in Claiborne County. Investigating cattle thefts is pretty hard, and it's hard to come up with evidence and sometimes find something that needs to point us in the right way. In this case, we got a break and we ran with it. Basically just to, I guess, let the thieves know that we are capable of catching them. And in this case, to show the farmers that, we're on their side and that we're here for them. By tagging their cattle is a very good idea. It gives us something to work with. Of course, we're going to look for what tag that cow was tagged with. And hopefully that the farmer will have good documentation as far as when the cow was born, exactly what date that it was born on, what pasture they would keep that cow in and stuff like that. That type of documentation helps us as well. In this case that we're currently working, one of the victims did not report their cow missing, even though we were still able to return the cow to the rightful owner, but she never made a report because farmers do run into problems like that. A coyote or sometimes a cow or a calf, will get out of the fence and just wander onto someone else's farm. So a lot of times they don't document, even for themselves, the issues that they're having with their cattle, and it just becomes a trend for them, I think, and so they don't report it to us. But we do recommend that if they have any problems or if they're suspicious of anything, to report that to us. That way we have knowledge of it.
There have been 12 calves stolen recently in Claiborne County, and one suspect remains behind bars, Howard Dixon Crowder. The investigation into those thefts does remain ongoing. Former Vice Mayor Linda Fultz had little time to exchange titles during the latest Harrogate Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting. Fultz was sworn in during the opening minutes of the meeting. She will hold the office that was left vacant by the late Bill Fultz until the next election that will take place in November of 2016. The seat of Vice Mayor remains vacant, and the matter is expected to be discussed at the next city work session. During the meeting, the board and others in the audience spent time reminiscing about the late mayor. Another meeting decision that was made due to the recent weather is the Harrogate Tree Board is going to be holding its annual Arbor Day Poster Contest Awards during the April meeting of the BMA. Harrogate's Arbor Day normally falls on the fourth Monday in March. H.T. Hackney in Middlesboro will be closing their doors. Keith Rogers, general manager of the Middlesboro facility, said they will be merging with other H.T. Hackney wholesalers located in the area. The facility currently has 34 employees, and they will be able to keep their jobs with the company. Their Somerset and Pikeville in Kentucky and Rowan County and Johnson City, Tennessee locations will be taking over the local customer base. The H.T. Hackney Company began delivering goods in East Tennessee in 1891. Today, they are one of the largest wholesale grocery distributors active in the United States, with headquarters located in Knoxville. The company has been operating in Middlesboro for over 40 years. They have been involved locally over the years, sponsoring T-ball and other youth programs in our community. Coming up after the break, we've got information on the upcoming health fair and how last week's tournament helped our local economy. All that and more right after this.
the Vive broadband TV revolution. Vive gives you the freedom to choose with loads of new channels like Up TV, The Hub, The Blaze, and Cubo. Vive's Watch TV Everywhere feature gives you the freedom to watch participating channels just about anywhere, anytime, on any device. And Vive Broadband Speed gives you the freedom to power internet TV services like Netflix, Hulu, Apple TV, and Google Chromecast. Join the TV revolution at vivebroadband.com.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
If I got to go to college, oh my goodness. I like discovering new things. You get to see what works for you and what doesn't. That helps you evolve as a person. You get to make like a supernova of skill or talent or whatever it is. I've always wanted to go to college. I just feel like that's my destiny. My name is Queen, and I am your dividend.
This week, Lincoln Memorial University will welcome students from the Kanto International Senior High School in Tokyo, Japan. Ever since 1979, Lincoln Memorial University has welcomed students from the Kanto International Senior High School. In conjunction with the Kanto program, LMU does offer a homestay experience to those participating students. Through Homestay International, students spend a weekend with a local host family. The students participate in the host family's everyday activities, whether it be going to the park, going to Sunday services, or even a family dinner. The homestay experience allows those students to participate in the daily life of an American family. The experiences gives them the unique opportunity that is only made possible through local host family participation. If you would like to be a host family, you can expect to host 2 students for 1 weekend. The weekend starts on a Friday and ends on a Sunday afternoon. There is no obligation to host more than 1 weekend throughout the duration of the program. For more information on becoming a host family, you can contact Joanne Russell at 423-869-7763 or by email at joanne.russell@lmunet.edu. Biggest Loser 10 kicked off last week at the Servolution Health Services. This successful program has helped hundreds of people in our community lose weight and become healthier. There are some changes to this round, and that does include the change to their location. There is also a kids camp and a boot camp for ages of 6 to 12. Over 100 people will be participating in this session, and the Biggest Loser participants can use the Path to Peace Wellness Center at Servolution from 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock on Thursdays. There is also memberships available for the gym that is $25 a month. For more information, you can call 423-419-5072. Servolution Health Services is located in the old Powell Valley High School Vocational Building at Powell Valley School Lane, 245 School Road in Speedwell. You can also visit their Facebook page. Just search for Servolution Health Services. A wellness fair is scheduled for this Wednesday that will feature exhibits, speakers, and demonstrations. The fair is scheduled to be held from 10 o'clock that morning until 2 o'clock Wednesday afternoon inside Tex Turner Arena. Some of the exhibits will include Subway, Sodexo, and IGA that will offer information on healthy eating, meal planning, shopping, and more. LMU insurance vendors such as Blue Cross Blue Shield of Tennessee, Guardian, Colonial, and Humana will be on hand with important wellness tips. If you haven't seen the sign at the entrance to campus, a medic blood unit will also be collecting blood donations from 10 until 5 that afternoon. A tobacco-free booth will provide tobacco cessation tips and more information about the tobacco-free campus policy that will be launched this August. Walk to Gettysburg participants can also stop by to pick up their prizes. For the schedule of who will be speaking, you can go to LMU's homepage at lmunet.edu. According to LMU Athletics, last week's NCAA Division II Southeast Regional Tournament brought in between $100,000 to $125,000 over the course of last weekend. A local restaurant that saw the economic effect was Haymaker Restaurant. We spoke with manager Matt Lambert, who tells us how the snow affected their business, but how they are very thankful for last week's tournament.
At our best, there were some days that we couldn't get in, couldn't get it open. Some days we came in, we opened it up. It almost wasn't even worth being here. So there's some days we'd shut down early and leave. We needed to make up for a lot of sales that we lost during the snow, and so having the tournament here, that helped a lot. Say Monday through Friday, we will normally do, say, about $1,000 per day in sales. During this tournament, we were doing another $200-300 on top of that. We had a couple of the teams come in. A few times we'd have a bus pull up, and some of the teams would come in, and it was neat to meet some people from out of town and get to know new people. We're a small restaurant, and we only have a few employees working at a time. So when a big bus pulls in, we got to get our game face on and be ready for that. Especially like during the weekends, because there's times during the weekends where we have a lot of people, when this whole place will be full, and when you get a bus pull in, you don't know if you can handle them or not, but you just do what you can and try to push through it. Our business, I went and looked at the numbers today. Our sales are up 20% from the week before.
Haymaker is open daily for lunch and dinner, and for menu information, you can give them a call at 423-869-4771. Now, if you have missed LMU sports over the past week, don't you worry. Adam Haley covers everything from basketball to golf to tennis to lacrosse. He will bring you all the latest scores and schedules right after this break.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Right, mi cariño. So like I said, everything I learned about cooking, I learned from Grandma's empanadas. Shall we go again?
Yep.
Mix beef with the onions with the peppers with the paprika with the garlic with the oregano with the cumin. Got it?
Got it.
Throw in the olives, stir, season, stir again, pour out the flour, roll out the dough, make a circle, drop in a fistful of filling, fold over, press down, and ta-da!
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Searching for help with Dachshund Reading.
No.
Let me try. Sarah's bright, but when she's reading, she has trouble sounding out words.
Playing world music.
What?
I give up.
Wait, I was trying to show you how Sarah feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Welcome back. The LMU baseball team spent the weekend at home for the first time since the second week of February, this time with a non-conference series against Ohio Valley University. In Game 1, the Fighting Scouts took the lead in the third on an RBI single by Logan Dan, and from there, it was all LMU. The Rail Splitters put up 5 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth, and 7 more in the sixth inning, highlighted by a 2 RBI home run by Nick Morabito and a 2 RBI home run by Danny Valdez on the way to a 15-5 rout in Game 1. Brandon Jean picked up the win, going 5 innings, giving up 1 earned run and striking out 6. Game 2 was not a big a blowout as LMU tried to turn it into a home run derby. Jonathan Lowe and Kelvin Brito both hit a solo home run in the second inning. Brito hit another home run, this time a 2-run shot in the third inning, and Lowe stole home in the fifth to propel LMU to the 5-1 win. Grant Painter went the distance, going 7 innings, giving up the 1 earned run and striking out 5. The two came back to the ballpark on Sunday and completed the 3-game series, and once again it was LMU using the long ball to put away Ohio Valley 10-4. Jonathan Lowe hit 3 home runs in Game 3 and recorded 6 RBIs. Lowe finished the series going 8 of 13 with 6 runs and 9 RBIs. Now at 17-10 on the season, the baseball team will get Alabama Huntsville on Wednesday afternoon at Lamar Hennon Field here on campus with a 2 p.m. and a 4:30 p.m. start. They'll be on the road this weekend in Brevard, North Carolina to face the Tornadoes. The LMU softball team still has not played a game at home since the first of the season, but they have finally broke into the conference schedule, and last weekend they were in Hartsville, South Carolina to take on Coker in a doubleheader. Game 1 went to the Cobras after a 2 RBI single and a fielding error led to the 3 Coker runs as they would win 3-0. Samantha Smith took the loss going 6 innings, giving up 2 earned runs and striking out 1. Game 2 started out better for LMU as Amanda Snow hit an RBI double in the first inning to give the Lady Rail Splitters the early 1-0 lead. Coker would come back to tie it up the game in the third and eventually take the lead in the fourth before LMU put up 2 runs in the fifth and 5 in the sixth, highlighted by an Emily Solomon grand slam to give LMU the 8-4 win. The ladies are now 10-12 on the season and 2-2 in conference play. They'll be at home on Tuesday afternoon to face the Trojans of Anderson University at 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. This past Saturday, the LMU men's and women's lacrosse teams were at home to face Conference foe Queens University. The women started the doubleheader at the lacrosse complex, and it didn't take the Royals long to get on the board. Kelly Dowd put the Royals on the board 29 seconds into the game with her 22nd goal of the season. And Queens would run from there, putting up a total of 15 goals in the first half on their way to a 20-1 win over LMU. Megan Wagner led Queens with 6 goals, while LMU's lone goal came from Autumn Beggington. The men came out and went toe-to-toe with Queens, with the scoring going back and forth. LMU went to the halftime break leading 3-2, but it was the Royals who came out ready, scoring 5 unanswered goals in the first 10 minutes of the third quarter and rolling on to the 9-6 win. The women's lacrosse team will be back in action at the LMU Lacrosse Complex on Tuesday afternoon against the University of Pikeville at 3 p.m., while the men will be at home on Wednesday afternoon against Colorado State University of Pueblo at 3 p.m. The LMU tennis teams were at home over the weekend taking on Anderson, and for both the men and women, it was not a fun weekend. The LMU women fell to Anderson 7-2 after only winning 1 doubles match and 1 singles match. After the loss, the LMU women are now 2-5 overall and 0-4 in conference play. The LMU men fared a little better, but still fell short in the quest to knock off one of the top teams in the conference, falling to the Trojans 5-4. With the loss, LMU falls to 3-5 overall and 2-3 in the conference. Both teams will be back on the courts on Tuesday at Brevard, Wednesday at King University in Bristol, Tennessee, and Thursday, weather permitting, back at home against Catawba. And finally, the LMU men's basketball teams Lorenzo Ross and Luquan Choice were named to the NABC All-Southeast Region team on Monday morning. Ross was named to the first team, while Choice was selected to the second team. LMU and Montevallo were the only teams in the Southeast region to have multiple players selected to the all-region teams this season. Now that's all for sports. However, stay tuned. Joseph Lewis will have everything you need to know about the box office from last week when we return.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
So they say it's a man's world? I don't see anybody's name on it.
While they were doing their thing, we slowly changed ours.
Today, women can do anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
This new mom is struggling to get the skates just right. And now she's holding on for dear life. Her kids can see she may have broke her knees. They still love her though she looks like she's attacked by killer bees. I'm allergic. Proof you don't have to be perfect to be the perfect parent.
Thousands of siblings in foster care will take you just as you are.
Hello, I'm Joseph Lewis, bringing you all the latest information in the world of movies. Tops at the box office this weekend were unsurprisingly led by Insurgent, the second installment in the popular young adult sci-fi adventure series that began last March with Divergent, and the new film's $54 million opening weekend was nearly identical to that of its predecessor. Following at number 2 was last week's winner Cinderella, adding another $34 million to its now $122 million domestic gross. And placing once again to round out the top 3 was the Liam Neeson starring actioner Run All Night, experiencing a drop and pulling in just over $5 million. Faring less well over the weekend was the Sean Penn-led thriller The Gunman, starting its run with a low $5 million despite a star-studded cast, as well as the new faith-based drama Do You Believe with a minuscule $4 million take. While established hits Kingsman: The Secret Service and the second-best exotic Marigold Hotel continue to slowly but steadily draw audiences, Chappie's grosses continue to spiral downward, with it pulling less than $3 million over the weekend and quickly looking as though it will be unable to make back its $49 million production budget. The coming weekend's releases offer quite a variety for audiences, with the Will Ferrell and Kevin Hart starring comedy Get Hard primed to be the box office frontrunner. The film centers around Ferrell as a pampered businessman wrongfully accused of tax evasion who turns to his friend, played by Hart, to give him a masterclass in how to survive a lengthy prison term. Co-starring Alison Brie of TV's Mad Men and Community, and seemingly very much committed to its hard R rating, the film should prove to be a major draw for adult audiences. On the other end of the spectrum, families will more than likely flock to Home, the latest production from DreamWorks Animation that tracks the story of a group of dim-witted alien fugitives who take refuge on Earth in order to hide from their mortal enemies. The diverse voice cast includes Steve Martin, Jennifer Lopez, Rihanna, Jim Parsons, and Breaking Bad's Matt Jones. However, the weekend's most intriguing feature looks to be It Follows, a new independent horror film from writer-director David Robert Mitchell that has rapidly been accumulating buzz among critics and festival audiences. Released under the Weinstein Company's Radius banner, the film was originally scheduled for a low-key video-on-demand release, but after a successful limited run last weekend, the Weinsteins have decided to expand its run into a wide release. Although plot details have been made scarce aside from its general concept of teens being haunted by a supernatural force, It Follows seems like the kind of film that's best left unspoiled, though its cast, including the guests Micah Monroe and United States of Terra's Care Gilchrist, certainly shows great potential. All 3 titles can be seen in theaters nationwide beginning this Friday, March 27th. That's all for this week in the world of movies. I'm Joseph Lewis.
The Vive Broadband TV Revolution. Vive gives you the freedom to choose with loads of new channels like Up TV, The Hub, The Blaze, and Cubo. Vive's Watch TV Everywhere feature gives you the freedom to watch participating channels just about anywhere, anytime, on any device. And Vive Broadband Speed gives you the freedom to power internet TV services like Netflix, Hulu, Apple TV, and Google Chromecast. Join the TV revolution at vivebroadband.com.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
If I got to go to college, oh my goodness. I like discovering new things. You get to see what works for you and what doesn't. That helps you evolve as a person. You get to make like a supernova of skill or talent or whatever it is. I've always wanted to go to college. I just feel like that's my destiny. My name is Queen, and I am your dividend.
And that's going to do it for LMU Community TV News. Thank you for joining us. For everyone behind the scenes, I'm Ashley Hurley. We'll see you next week.